Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today's webinar on the introduction of our certain power templates. My name is Ashley Kunihiro, and I work on the professional service team. My co-host here is Brad Newman. Brad, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Brad Newman. I'm a senior solutions engineer here at Certain and looking forward to showing the new power templates.
Let's get into it. Today's agenda, we're going to discuss, what and why the power templates. We will also be doing a brief demo with live changes so that you can see it in action, and we will end with some general Q&A. So we build certain power templates to optimize and streamline your event creation to ultimately reduce your setup time and allow you to focus on other things besides having to build your event website. When we created the power templates, we wanted to also keep in mind the importance that every company needs on adhering to brand guidelines. So we actually created a brand content file so that your event users can easily ensure that all of the branding for your company is set across all event materials, such as color, text, fonts, sizes, and hyperlink colors. All of that can be managed by your event builder. We've also created 10 different plug and play sections in the content blocks so that they are ready to use, allowing your event builders to put in all of the information they need to provide for your event and to easily just build it for your event website, allowing them to be more autonomous and without any needs for any advanced event building.
Yeah, and if I could jump in, I think the important couple of important pieces here are the we that Ashley is mentioning is the pro services team here at Certain. This project has been taken on by this team in order to enhance both the attendee experience, but as much as we want to give that great experience, we also wanted to improve the experience of the users of the platform and of these templates.
Our certain power templates also use API integrations just to ensure that any updates that you create are in real time. So the agenda and the speaker sections of your event website can actually now pull from anything that you build within our conference modules where you're using sessions. So that way you don't have to make a whole separate file just to upload your event website or your speaker information. It can all be pulled straight from our session modules.
Yeah, and this is definitely a cool enhancement that our team has come up with a solution for. It does scale, and it is very easily added to your web pages.
These templates are extremely scalable and adaptable. When we built this, we also created multiple styling options so that you can pick and choose based on, what your needs are for each event, so that each event can be its own unique individual styling. We mentioned that we do have those 10 pre-designed content blocks, again, to help you be scalable in changing how you are presenting your information for your event. And the navigation control option with the power template allows you to very easily kind of easily on and off, turn those sections on for your website. Some events may not require specific sections, and so we've made sure to ensure that the easiness of being able to turn those on and off is available. And of course, we mentioned the branding content file, allowing you to just easily ensure that you are adhering to your company's branding guidelines.
Yep.
So Brad, let us know, why is this so valuable and why do we want to make sure that everybody has the power templates?
Yeah, great question. So, a couple of things that have been mentioned here are scale, uh, brand guidelines and matching them, and a much easier way of managing all of this. So as a former planner and a user of the certain platform for almost 10 years, the anxiety of keeping uh, the brand guidelines while changing out page content was always a big challenge. And it continues to be for a lot of different systems out there. What we did as a pro services team was created a method and a way that locks that down for our users, and then of course gives those 26 different combinations of options, gives a lot of freedom and flexibility to the experience that you want to deliver on for your attendees. So uh, in combination, those two sides really come to the middle here, and we're giving an experience for all users that we think really benefits uh, all personas.
Absolutely. All right. Let's get into a demo.
Cool.
All right. So here I'm gonna have a split screens here. On the left side, I'm going to be showing the power option 1 versus option 2. On the right hand side, just temporarily, I have what the end result will look like. We created the power template with 2 different options in which we'll explain kind of what the differences are. But just know that the end result, which is what I'm showing on the right hand side at this moment, is for both templates. Either method that you use for option 1 or option 2 gets you to the same destination. But let's get into kind of just what the differences are between our options when you are looking to implement the power template. Here at Pro Services, we work a lot with you guys to ensure that your workflows are meeting your needs. And those needs have been separated into 2 general categories for the most part. Option 1, as you can see, has a much smaller set of display fields in order to kind of manage your content and building the event website. As opposed to option 2 on the right hand side, you can see that there are quite a few display fields. And the differences between that is really the hosting of a single source for option 1. Our event content file here has all of the event information that you would build in a single file. So maybe you only have a single event builder that is focused on building this event. Therefore, you don't need multiple files to make it. And we've done this to make it easier by putting it in a single content file. As opposed to option 2, we do still have an event content file, but we've also broken out all of the bigger main sections such as agenda, speaker, sponsor. We've broken out into separate files for use cases among groups where they have multiple event builders building the same event. So one person could be working on agenda and one other person could be working on speaker. Having them separated into different files allows those event builders to continue their work autonomously without having to rely on each other for finishing each other's section within a file.
Yeah,
So
and I think a good point, or this is a good time to make a couple of quick points, if I may. First and foremost, these are sort of the 2 extremes, and depending on the use case of your team, there is a lot of mixing and matching that can be done on this. So again, if you're looking at this going, it's A or B, actually, or 1 or 2 in our case, it's actually any combination of these. If you do have questions about, could we combine these things, you just reach out to your customer success manager, and we can get into an engagement and discuss the different options. You're also going to see when Ashley gets into showing the different styles and the combinations, when you are looking at those, also keep in mind that you can mix and match different sections. So if your particular use case likes one option and not the other, again, reach out to your customer success manager and we can start to discuss what options are available for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brad. All right, we're going to very briefly go over kind of the option one, option two display fields and just the differences and kind of what they do. First and foremost, the very first display field is going to be that branding content file that we mentioned. The branding content file for option one, again, will host all of the information in a single file. Option one having a single file can be really good for companies where the branding, coloring, styling is always consistent throughout all of the events. That way you don't have to worry about having to update it or make changes, things like that. So having a single source for all of that branding, option one would be a great choice for you. Option two, we understand that there are also companies out there that have different branding styles based on the event itself, therefore needing the ability to kind of easily change colorings, maybe the logo, things like that per individual event. So the branding content file in option two has some more of the higher level items while also breaking out the individual ability to change the individual colors or nav bar, coloring, footer, so on and so forth. Next one we mentioned was the event content file. Again, the event content file is a single file for the option one versus option two, where we have more high level event content information and then breaking them down into their respective sections. Next on the list, we have select navbar menu item. This is the ability to be able to turn on and off very easily the various sections that you may need for that particular event. So if we're going to do this in a live demo here. So this is my event here. You can see we have all our various sections. But let's say, for example, this event doesn't have any sponsors. We don't need this part of it for this event. It's just as easy as removing the section name within the display field, saving. I will refresh my page and you're going to notice that the sponsor navbar item has been removed from the top and has also been removed as a section on my event website. And of course, if I want it back, it's again just as easy as placing it back into my display field, saving and refreshing.
So cool.
Another easy on and off button here is our style options. So we mentioned that we're providing you about 26 plus different style options between the various sections. So I'm going to do that as a demo for our agenda style. This one is our tabular style. As you can see, you can just kind of click on the days and it'll show the various pieces of information for that day. Well, let's say I want to do a different style. And as you can see, we have lots of different styles available. I'm going to go ahead and select this timeline gradient one, save it, refresh, and like magic, it has changed to a completely different style.
Yeah, and a couple of things here. One, part of the reason the pro services team was chosen as the group that was going to build these different options for you and the value directly to our customers is the fact that we own it, we maintain it, and we don't need any outside resource to help us manage and make changes to this. Having said that, the changes that can be made to this, you might be sitting there looking and saying, well, we don't want our speaker images there, or we want the speaker images on the left and to start, and those kinds of things. Again, as I mentioned earlier, these are things that we may already have an option for, as Ashley is showing, but we also can make changes to these things when we install it into your portals. So just keep that in mind. Mix and match, adjustments of what the content pieces are. All of that is controlled by the pro services team that will install this into your portals.
Thank you so much, Brad. The last two display fields here are really just content pieces of information. The about content allows you to update the information just below the banner about the information about your event. And then we also have form content that is related to the actual registration form.
Can we show the game changer of showing the actual reading from the session catalog?
Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead just for the ease of use of reading this. I'm going to change it back to my tabular list. That's my favorite list version, just to easily read everything. If you ever just everyone take a quick peek and kind of remember what this information layout is. As you can see, we have lots of information, and this is being pulled from the event content file. So I've manually built my event information out so that it lays it all out. But let's say I've built it in my session module in my conferences, and I would like to use the API feature. I've already placed it here into my event assets. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and select this. And I'm going to click save. And again, just an easy refresh. And you'll see that the information on my agenda has completely changed because it's pulling straight from my session modules. So you can see I have my breakfast. I just put a dash API so that everybody could visually see it's changed and it's pulling from that API. And this is the same idea for the speakers.
Yeah, so just to be clear, the first option is actually an Excel upload with a row for each of those agenda items that you want to show. For those of you that are already taking advantage and leveraging either our agenda or sessions modules, you can then, just by switching out the file with just a difference, or removing that content, sorry, and saying you want to use the session catalog or session module, you can then have it render those items that you want it to render here.
Awesome. I think the last thing I would like to demo for today is showing everybody what those plug and play content blocks look like. So I am going to switch my screen here, and I'd like to just show kind of what those 10 plus pre-designed content blocks are. So this is the oops, I don't know how I refreshed, but all right. So here's we have 3 different styles of content blocks. We have data tab, accordion, and column content. The data tab, as you can see, has various tabs in which of course you can relabel, put different pieces of information, pictures, and this allows you to put lots of information even on a single page. You can duplicate the content blocks so that maybe you have even more data tabs. But this is what the data tab content block looks like. We also have the accordion style, same idea, allowing you to place lots of information on a single page, but in more of an accordion style. And then we have column content. This one has quite a few different variations for the column content. I'm gonna make this just a little bit bigger here. So I've highlighted them under their header with an underline just so that you can easily differentiate between the different contents blocks. So such an example, we have two column blocks, or maybe we have 2 column with an image on the right versus maybe an image on the left. We have variations of a 3 column content block, maybe just text, or maybe one with just icons. Maybe we want some really nice big pictures involved with the various content blocks. And of course, we have a 4 column. So all of these are going to come with your power template, allowing you to, again, kind of plug and play those to wherever you need them for your event website. And you can even duplicate them so that you can, if you need, 2 3 column content blocks, you can certainly do that. So these are going to be available when you get your power template. Awesome. Let's jump into a Q&A. A few questions that we've gotten regarding the power template. Brad already touched on this one, but customization, is that possible between option 1 and option 2? And the answer, of course, is yes. We can absolutely do a scoping call with you and your CSM to discuss that further if you want to kind of mix some of the elements or even further customize the power template to meet your needs.
Yeah, I would just add, again, that based on the pro services team taking ownership of this now, um, in the past, we may have had to, when a discussion of is something possible, we may have had to say, well, we need to check with developers. In this case, we'll be able to answer those calls or answer those questions directly with you, knowing that we own this entire process.
Absolutely. All right. Another question we have is, does implementation include any training? Of course, we want to make sure that you and all of your event builders are comfortable using the Power Template. So with the implementation of the Power Template, you will receive a 1 hour virtual training. In addition to that, another question kind of going side by side by that is there a guide that we can reference to even post training? And yes, but we have created documentation guides for both option 1 and option 2, which will be available on our support pages. Um, and how long does it take to implement the power templates? Approximately a week, just depending on your availability. Okay, and of course, the most important question, how do I get the power template? It looks great, I want it. How do I get it into my
Yep.
portal? The next steps, if you are interested in the power template, please contact your customer success manager, your CSM, and they will get you in the right direction and next steps to obtain the power template. We want to thank you so much for joining for our webinar today. We hope that you thoroughly enjoy and see the value in our brand new power templates. And we're always looking to make you and your uh, event builders, be able to build easily. So we hope you found this very knowledgeable. And we thank you again for joining. Thank you, Brad, as my co-host. And we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you, everyone.